Episode 15. Season 1 Wrap-Up. Reflection and encouragement. Welcome back. And Trudie, thank you for walking this first season with me. If you've been here from the beginning, you know this hasn't just been a series of conversations. It's been a journey. Together, we've stepped into some deeply personal and sometimes difficult spaces, navigating uncertainty, facing fear, processing health challenges, and learning how to live fully even when life doesn't feel predictable. We've talked about faith that doesn't deny reality, peace that can exist in the middle of chaos, gratitude that grows even in hard seasons, joy that is anchored, not fleeting, hope that remains steady when everything else feels like it's shifting. And maybe, somewhere along the way, you've recognized pieces of your own story in these words. Because this journey, while deeply personal, is also something we share. We all face moments where life feels uncertain, where control slips through our hands, where we are asked to trust, to wait, to keep going without clear answers. So today, I want to pause, not to rush into the next thing, not to add more, but to reflect. To take a breath together and look back, not at everything that has been hard, but at everything that has been learned. You've learned how to show up even when you didn't feel strong. You've learned how to carry both fear and faith at the same time. You've learned that slowing down is not weakness, it's wisdom. You've learned that even small moments hold meaning. And maybe most importantly, you've learned that you are more resilient than you thought. That even in uncertainty you can still live fully. That even in weakness there is strength. That even in the unknown there is still something steady you can hold on to. So as we close the season, I want to leave you with perspective. The journey is not about having everything figured out. It's about learning how to walk through life with intention, with presence, with faith that doesn't depend on perfect circumstances. It's about recognizing that your life is not on hold while you're waiting for things to change. It is happening now, and it matters now. Every breath, every step, every quiet moment of courage. And I want to leave you with encouragement. You are doing better than you think. Even on days that feel heavy, even on the days that feel uncertain, even on the days when you question your strength, you are still here, still showing up, still moving forward, and that matters. And finally, hope. Not a fragile hope that depends on everything going right, but a steady, anchored hope. The kind that reminds you you are not alone. You are held, and this is not the end of your story. So as you move forward from here into whatever comes next, carry these truths with you. Return to them when you need them. Hold on to them when things feel uncertain. Let them guide how you live your days. Because no matter what season you are in, you can still live fully, you can still walk in peace, and you can still move forward, one faithful step at a time. Looking back on the journey, when we started, we began with something foundational, guarding your peace, learning that your mind and your heart are worth protecting, that not every thought deserves access, that peace is something you can choose, cultivate, and return to. And from there, we walk step by step through this journey together. When fear knocked, we didn't ignore it, but we learned how to respond calmly instead of reacting in panic. When we were living between lab results, we found ways to stay steady even when outcomes were uncertain. When the body felt weak but the spirit remained strong, we discovered that strength isn't only physical, it runs deeper. Through faith without denial, we learned that trusting God doesn't mean pretending everything is okay. It means trusting Him in what is real. In gratitude in the middle of treatment, we saw that thankfulness is not dependent on ease, but on awareness. When healing looked different than expected, we learned to release control and embrace a different kind of progress. In living fully in uncertainty, we realize that life doesn't have to pause just because clarity is missing. In strength for the family watching, we understood that how we carry ourselves impact those we love, and that calm, faith, and presence can steady an entire household. When the numbers dropped, we learned that data informs, but it does not define. In Anchor Joy, we discovered that joy is not found in perfect circumstances, but in intentional presence. In the gift of slowing down, we gave ourselves permission to pause, to breathe, to live at a sustainable pace. In finding steady hope, we anchored ourselves in something unchanging, even when everything else felt uncertain. And in making every day count, we embraced the truth that life is happening now, not someday. Each of these moments, each of these lessons was not just information, they were invitations to live differently, to think differently, to respond differently. Not perfectly, but intentionally. Each episode was designed to equip you with faith, so you're not walking this alone, with perspective, so you can see beyond what is immediately in front of you, with practical guidance, so these truths don't just stay as ideas, but become part of your daily life. Because this journey was never about avoiding challenges, it was about learning how to walk through them with steadiness, with intention, with a heart that remains anchored. And now, as you look back, you can begin to see you've grown, you've strengthened, you've learned how to carry things differently, not because the road was easy, but because you chose to keep walking it with faith, with courage, and with a deeper awareness of what truly matters. And that is a journey worth honoring. The core lessons. If there's one thread that ties all of this together, it's this. These truths are not just ideas. They are anchors you can return to again and again. Faith anchors the heart. Even when life feels uncertain, even when answers are unclear, even when the path ahead is hidden, God's presence is constant. Faith does not remove the storm, it steadies you in it. It reminds you, I may not understand everything, but I am not alone. Peace is a choice. Not a one-time decision, but a daily practice. A choice to guard your thoughts. A choice to pause instead of react. A choice to return to calm even after you've been shaken. Peace isn't found in perfect circumstances. It's cultivated in how you respond to them. Joy is available. Not someday, not only when things approve, now. It doesn't require perfect days or perfect outcomes, only awareness. The willingness to notice what is still good. The courage to embrace small moments. The humility to receive joy, even in unexpected places. Presence matters. Because life is not lived in the future, it's lived here, in the ordinary, in the quiet, in the small, meaningful moments we often overlook. When you are present, you begin to see what you have missed. And those moments, small as they may seem, build resilience, deepen connection, and strengthen hope. Hope is steady. Not because life is predictable, not because outcomes are guaranteed, but because God's faithfulness never wavers. Hope stands firm when everything else feels uncertain. It whispers truth when fear gets loud. It carries you when your strength feels low. These are not just lessons for a season. They are ways of living, ways of thinking, ways of responding, ways of anchoring yourself in something deeper than circumstances. And when you hold on to these truths, not perfectly but consistently, you begin to live differently, more grounded, more peaceful, more aware, more steady, no matter what comes. Moving forward. As we close Season 1, this isn't an ending, it's a transition, an invitation to take what you've learned and begin to live it gently and intentionally in your everyday life. So pause for a moment and reflect. Where can you guard your peace more intentionally? Are there thoughts you need to release? Spaces you need to step back from? Moments where you can choose calm instead of reaction. Peace doesn't just happen, you cultivate it. How can you live fully even in uncertainty? Not waiting for clarity, not waiting for everything to settle? By choosing to engage with your life as it is, showing up, being present, allowing meaning to exist even here. How can you bring joy and gratitude into ordinary moments? Not by searching for something big, but by noticing what is already in front of you. A quiet moment, a connection, a breath of peace. Joy grows where it is noticed. How can you share strength and hope with your loved ones? Not by being perfect, not by having all the answers, but by how you carry yourself. Your calm can steady them, your faith can encourage them, and your presence can reassure them. Sometimes the greatest strength you offer is simply how you walk through your own journey. Because even in the midst of challenges, you still have power. Not over everything that happens, but over how you respond. And that is powerful. Your steps are ordered, even when the path feels unclear. Your heart can be anchored, even when emotions rise. Your life can overflow with hope, faith, and joy, not because everything is perfect, but because you are rooted in something deeper. So as you move forward, carry this with you. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to walk this perfectly. Just keep returning to peace, to faith, to presence, to hope, one day at a time, one step at a time, and that is more than enough. Thank you for letting me walk alongside you in this first season. Truly, this has been more than sharing words. It has been sharing my journey. And if you've listened, reflected, and allowed these truths into your life, then you haven't just heard it, you've lived it. And as you move forward, carry this with you. Life may not always be easy. It may not be predictable. It may not be perfect. There will be days that feel heavy, moments that feel uncertain, seasons that stretch you in ways you didn't expect. But even then, every moment is still an opportunity to choose faith over fear, to cultivate peace instead of reacting to chaos, to live intentionally instead of just getting through the day. You don't have to wait for a better season to begin living. You can live fully right where you are. So carry these lessons into each day, not as pressure, not as something you have to do perfectly, but as gentle anchors you can return to. When fear rises, return to faith. When your mind feels overwhelmed, return to peace. When life feels heavy, look for joy in the small moments. When the path feels unclear, hold on to steady hope. Anchor yourself in God's presence, not just in the big moments, but in the quiet, ordinary, everyday spaces, because that's where you'll find the strength to keep going, the peace to stay grounded, the courage to move forward. And as you continue on your journey, walk fully, not halfway, not waiting. Walk courageously, even when you feel uncertain. Walk joyfully, not because everything is perfect, but because something deeper is holding you steady. one step at a time, one day at a time. And remember, you are not alone. You are held, and your story is still unfolding. Next week will be a bonus episode, dealing with disappointment, before we start Season 2. Season 2 will be looking at the A to Z of what our mindset should be. Until next time, stay anchored, stay present, and make every day count.